Merchandise Financial Planning, Chapter 2, Session 3, MMU% and the Derived Metrics. In order to calculate the MMU%, the planners must enter the values for BOP inventory and receipts at cost. Both of these metrics are entered at the lowest level of the product hierarchy, perhaps class or subdepartment, and across time at the lowest level, which could be either a week or a month. Remember, BOP inventory is only entered at that week or month of the first period, as this will be updated based on the balance set calculation for the future periods. These values, combined with the retail values previously entered in Chapter 1 for BOP inventory, receipts, and permanent markdowns, will now allow the MMU% to be calculated. The calculation for MMU is 1 minus the total of BOP inventory at cost plus receipts at cost divided by the total of BOP inventory at retail minus your permanent markdowns plus your receipts at retail. In our example on the slide, we see that in week 1, the retail values were previously updated during our earlier sessions. Now that the planner has entered the cost values at the lowest level of the product hierarchy, and over time, the MMU will be calculated for that time period, which happens to be week 1. We can see in week 2, the next go-forward time period, the planner has not entered the retail or the cost values for receipts and permanent markdowns for that time period. Therefore, the MMU will remain as it was calculated for week 1. In Chapter 1 of our mini sessions, we discussed how there is a retail balance set. Within MFP, we also have a cost balance set. Most of the planning metrics for the cost balance set are derived, meaning they will be calculated based off of the values entered at retail and the MMU%. Typically, these will be your sales, shrink, and POS markdown metrics. The calculation to derive these planning metrics is the retail of the associated metric times 1 minus the MMU%. In our example on the slide, we can see that our retails for our planning metrics of sales, shrink, and POS markdowns has already been inputted. We're now going to use our calculation to derive our costs, which is retail times 1 minus your MMU%. So using sales as an example, $6,000 of retail times 1 minus 50.15% MMU equals $2,991. We will use that same calculation in order to derive our cost for shrink and POS markdowns as well. Once all the costs have been calculated, there is a balance set for cost. This will update very similar to that of the retail balance set, giving us a new end-of-period inventory. Our end-of-period inventory becomes our beginning of period inventory, thus creating the movement and flow of inventory over time.